a bit about myself, I'll ask you the question, what did you want to be when you were growing up? Do you remember getting that question? I know I do. It's one of the hardest ones to answer because at the time you ask this question, you perhaps don't have the clearest insight into how to build a career around your skill set. There are infinite possibilities out there, and today's event will hopefully shed you some light on careers you can explore through programming using Python. And who knows, after today's session, maybe you will have an answer to this big question in life. First, I want to share a bit about my background. My name is Ashley Kang, the founder of Corizon Esports, one of the leading media outlets in esports, aka competitive video gaming. Some of you may know me as a CEO, or an interviewer, or an esports content creator, but before I entered the world of journalism and esports, I was a programmer for 7 years. For me, the three skills that I acquired in IT industry have found to be critical to success: logical thinking, creative problem solving, and communication skills. Programming and coding helped me hone those skills, and they have served me well in my career in life, whether as a programmer, or as a journalist, or as a founder of a media company. I got my start in programming in college when a professor I respected, seeing that I was interested in logical thinking as well as creative problem solving, encouraged me to switch from physics major to programming. That propelled me on a path to do some really exciting work. Once I graduated in software engineering, I entered the IT industry and had the opportunity to create websites, e-commerce, and content management systems for high-profile countries around the globe. And what was interesting to me, and what opened my eyes to the possibilities that I could pursue in the future, was the different background that people came to IT from. While I was working in the IT industry, I got to work with people who came from visual arts, from history, from healthcare, from all over. So here I draw reference to my own experience to underscore a point I want to make today. There is no one right way to enter or work in IT. In fact, a lot of the most interesting work in the IT happens at the cross-sectional of fields. For example, you may be good at programming, but you also may have a knack for communication, in which case, an IT consultant will be a great possible career path. Or you may be good at coding, but also have a passion for design. In that case, being a user experience designer is a role that will make a great use of both of your skill sets. The creative and logical thinking skills that I acquired from initially pursuing programming also helped me enter other career paths. In my personal case, journalism and esports were always areas that I was interested in. While I was good at programming, I knew at some point that I would want to make the switch, but I knew the challenges of bringing into a new industry. There were some barriers to entry, but I used my creative problem solving skills to find a way in. In 2018, I led programming and found Corizon, an online esports news platform that now has 26K subscribers on YouTube. In the process of creating Corizon, I was able to gain 119 followers on Twitter and build a personal brand that I can use to communicate about the things that I am passionate about. In 2021, I won Esports Content Creator of the Year, and I shared all this with you, not with pride, but to inspire you that the sky is the limit when you follow your curiosity and passion and develop and apply your skills, especially in the IT industry. Taking advantage of every opportunity that you may take, me taking the Python Essentials 1 course. And this is the subject that we'll be talking about today. You never know when something like today's course can open new doors and put you on a new career path for success. Even while I was a programmer, I was always trying to expand my knowledge into design and communication, getting extra certifications that I believed, and it has helped me in the future to come. Now, onto the main segment of our event. Today, I have the great privilege to be joined by some of the amazing leaders at OpenEDG, an educational organization that offers different programs in advanced programming as well as IT-related technologies. And part of their mission is to set the standard of skills as well as to provide development opportunities for individuals who wish to pursue a career in programming and IT. The individuals that I'm going to introduce you believe in the power of education and are excited to share their passion with you today. Cisco has partnered with OpenEDG to bring you the Python Essentials 1 course on Skills for All series. These courses take a comprehensive, hands-on approach that prepares you for an industry-recognized certification. Also, stay until the end to hear more about the great prizes we have in store for you for the first 3 people, as well as the first 200 people who complete today's course. But that's enough for me. Without further ado, join me in giving you a warm welcome to our first speaker, Greg Chuhai, Chief Product Operations and Officer at OpenEDG. Greg will tell you all about Python and why it's a great language to get started with programming. So welcome, Greg.
Yeah, Ashley. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Greg, and today I'm going to be talking about Python, why you should learn it, what you can do with it once you've learned it, and where you can work once you've learned it well. I'm waiting for my presentation slides to appear. But before we move on, I thought I could introduce myself to you all and tell you a couple of words about what I do. So first of all, I tend to think about myself as an educator because my work focuses on around helping others to acquire skills, knowledge, and competencies they need at work. I'm also a product designer and product manager, which means I create educational products here at OpenEDG Python Institute. I manage their life cycles. And finally, I'm a huge fan of the Python programming language. I'm a huge fan of its simplicity, its superpowers, and I believe it should be taught in every school, just like playing ukulele. Okay. About the OpenEDG Python Institute, I thought I could tell you a few words about it as well. This is the organization that's behind the Python's Essentials course series, and I'm proud to be the member of it. Well, we're a group of Pythonistas, we're a group of Python enthusiasts, teachers, educators, IT and non-IT professionals. We're generally people who share the same goal, the same mission, which is that we want to promote the Python language, train people how to use it both for DIY and commercial purposes. And we want to support professional careers in Python programming related technology. At the Python Institute, we partner with schools, colleges, universities, but we also partner with organizations and businesses. So this partnership, this collaboration with Cisco Networking Academy is one of the best examples here. We're also proud to be the supporting sponsor of the Python Software Foundation, PSF, which is the organization that manages Python and its development. So in a way, by supporting us, you also support the PSF. Okay, so that's us in a nutshell. Next slide, please. Now, what is Python? Well, if somebody asks you, you'd probably say it's a snake or a mythical serpent living in the center of the earth, known from Greek mythology. Car enthusiasts would probably say that it's an Australian car company or a sports car by Ford. But the people in the world of IT, the people who are in the world of programming will know it, definitely know it as a programming language. But Python is not just any programming language. So the definition says it's interpreted object-oriented high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. It's used for general purpose programming. So we're not going to elaborate on each of these words that I put in bold in this presentation. I'm just going to focus on the last part, which is the general purpose. So what does it mean? It means that it's been designed. It's been designed to be used in a very wide range of different applications. So from simple school projects to game development to complex computing used in finance, medicine, to astronomy. Python was created by Guido van Rossum and was first released in 1991. So one of the most amazing things about Python features is that it's actually one man's work. So usually new programming languages, they are developed by teams of programmers and they published by large companies. That's not quite the case with Python. Well, of course, Guido didn't develop all the language components all by himself that we're using today. That's the effect of the vibrant Python community and continuous work of volunteers, programmers, testers, users who very often remain anonymous. So what else can we say about Python? That's the most popular programming language in the world, and it's reflected by these two indexes that you can see in the slide. One of them is the TIOBE index, the other one is PyPL, popularity of programming language index. So in both of them, Python ranks #1. Believe it or not, but one of the most widely learned and taught languages or foreign languages in the world, apart from English, of course, French was overtaken by Python. This is amazing. Okay, let's change the slide and let's discuss a couple of Python facts. The name Python, it may sound like a little bit weird choice for a programming language. Many people think that Python was named after a snake, the Pythonidae, Pythonidae, commonly known as Python. But this is, however, not true. Some of you already know that. There's a different story behind it. Turns out that Guido was a big fan of the BBC's comedy TV show called Monty Python's Flying Circus. It's a very popular show back in the 70s. So if you don't know this one, you can ask your parents if they remember it. If your parents don't remember it, then ask your parents' parents. But anyway, when Guido was creating Python, he was also reading the scripts from Monty Python, and he thought the name was original enough, was short enough, and mysterious enough to give it to his project. That's how he came up with the name. Programming is an art, they may say, but Python is an art in itself. And let me give you proof for this statement. So one of the main Python contributors, Tim Peters, created a poem, The Zen of Python, and it defines the Python philosophy and some of the rules for Python programming. So what you need to do is just type import this in the interpreter, and you see what kind of magic happens. Beautiful is better than ugly, explicit is better than implicit, simple is better than complex, complex better than complicated. So this is true art, Python coding philosophy contained in a poem imported from the Python standard library. That's really amazing. Python is also a funny language. Look at this webcomic book. So even though it's a great tool for building serious projects and automating stuff, because it's open source, we can find a lot of intriguing features and so-called Easter eggs hidden in it. So just type import anti-gravity, and you're going to experience anti-gravity. Don't spend too much time like watching the webcomic book. All right. So why Python, and where's Python exactly? What is so special about it and why we should use it in the first place? So where is it? The answer to this question is it's everywhere. Python is really everywhere. So whether you realize it or not, we're all using Python-powered devices on a regular basis each day. So imagine the following situation, just to picture you what this may look like. So you're hungry. You grab your mobile phone, you open a meal order app, which is maybe programmed in Python. You pick a burger and order it. And the data that is sent to the restaurant and the restaurant system, also written in Python, processes the order, calculates the estimated time of delivery, and sends out the instructions to the restaurant staff. The driver loads a map app, also written in Python, maybe the AI mechanisms, Python AI mechanisms, analyze the traffic and propose the fastest route. So you get the delivery, you enjoy the meal, but while you're eating, Python is working in the background to analyze your habits. So it figures out when you like to eat, what you like to eat, and gets better and better at suggesting what you should order the next time. This is Python. And on this slide, is gardening. I'm a huge fan of gardening. Maybe you're an amateur gardener who wants to go pro just like me. So you decide to use an automated watering system that waters your plants. So you go on a holiday and 1,000 miles away, you decide to grab your mobile, open your plant management app, which was written in Python, and turns out that everything's okay. You don't need to do anything because Python has been monitoring your plants 24/7 and adjusting the water levels based on the temperature, humidity, health of the plants. So this is how Python works in relation with the Internet of Things, IoT. So the only thing it can't do yet is to trim the dead leaves, or maybe it can. I don't know. This is Python. Okay. We already know that Python is indeed everywhere, but what else makes it so special? So there are billions of lines of code that already that are already written in Python, which means endless opportunities for code reuse and endless opportunities to use well-crafted scripts examples. Python has also a large and very, very active, very, very helpful community. And because it's a large, when you come up with a Python-related problem, there's a huge chance or probability that somebody has encountered the same problem before. So finding it is just a matter of 5-10 minutes. Python is extremely versatile. It can be used for many different tasks. So as we already said, it's like from web development to machine learning, but also across multiple industries. So from simple school projects to logistics, finance, medicine, to rocket science. Finally, billions of lines of code, millions of libraries, and the support for multiple programming paradigms makes Python truly scalable. Why should you learn Python? That's the question. Well, first of all, because it's very easy to learn. It has super simple syntax. The syntax mimics natural language, but it's also beginner friendly. This makes it ideal for entry-level coders or people who have no prior programming experience. So look how easy it is, this example, to write the popular Hello World program. It's just a one-liner with extremely simple syntax and intuitive format. Python is also very, very easy to use for writing new software. Why? Because it's popular, because it's portable, standardized, and as I mentioned earlier in the slide, its huge and constantly growing archive of modules, libraries, makes it a great tool with almost endless and limitless capabilities. It's also open source and highly in demand, and Python developers make really good money. So you learn more about it in one of the next presentations given by my colleague Maciek. All right, so why we should learn Python? We already know that, but where can we use it? And what can we do with it? So one of the examples on the next slide is internet services. Ever talk to a bot, chatbots, web apps, Python-driven web applications all use Python code to figure out what actions they must take and what content must be shown to the end user. Data science in the next slide. So did you know, guys, that the amount of data doubles every 2 years? Data is everywhere, and we track it, we analyze it, and we use data insights. We do it in order to make better decisions. Machine learning in the next slide. So did you know that more data has been created in the past 2 years than in the rest of human history? This is amazing. That's why machine learning modules that find patterns in data make decisions based on these patterns are so important. Yes, software development, game development, civilizations. You play Civilization, Civilization 4, Civilization 5. The Sims 4 is a perfect example. Is there anyone who hasn't played The Sims? Pirates of the Caribbean. They all have been written in Python to a larger or lesser extent. Security, malware analysis, scanning, penetration testing tasks. Python can be used for a multitude of cybersecurity functions. Testing, well, Python is a perfect choice for test automation. And last but not least, this is education. Since Python comes with an easy to learn and intuitive syntax and logics, no surprise it's become language number one for teaching programming. So as you can see, you can use Python for a million different tasks: data analysis, machine learning, web development, automation, scripting, software development, prototyping, testing, you name it. But you can also use it for everyday tasks. And even if you're not a programmer, knowing Python will help you in non-IT industries and your everyday do-it-yourself tasks. So for example, if you want to rename large batches of files, Python will help you. If you want to work with spreadsheets, you want to import some external data from external sources, you can use Python for that. It will help you work with Excel. Keeping track of the stock market or cryptocurrencies, or you want to just simply update your grocery shopping list, you can do it easily with Python. You can also become a modern artist and use Python to draw a masterpiece for you. So my friend Rue will show you how in just a minute. Or if you're a bit old-fashioned like me, you can become an ASCII artist, which is more closer to me. Okay. And then the next slide. So on this, I mean, who uses Python and where can you actually work with it? So it's both startups and tech giants. They have already either switched to Python or started using it to a large extent. So in the next slide, if we can switch to the next slide, please. You're going to see that Python is widely used by these companies. So, for example, Python has become one of the 4 main languages used at Google. So Google's YouTube is largely written in Python. Same with Netflix, which is an active user of Python libraries, Dropbox, PayPal, Facebook, NASA, CERN, the US military, and of course, look at the bottom of the slide, Cisco. So what do you have to do to start learning the language of today and tomorrow, which is Python? You need to choose your pathway. You need to identify your interests and follow them. Are you more are you more of an analyst or maybe more of a designer, builder, creator, gamer, whatever you are? Or even if you don't know yet, do the Python Essentials 1 course, which is a great starting point to all careers in Python and programming related jobs. Be curious, experiment, read technical literature, analyze Python documentation, talk to other programmers, online, offline, then certify your skills, take the PSAP exam, update your resume, then start an internship, get your first entry level job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Greg. And in Greg's session, we learned about the origins of Python, whether it's named after a snake or not, as well as gained an understanding of what makes this programming language so unique and why it's a great choice for you to make an entry into coding. Thank you for sharing those amazing information with us. Now, I would like to welcome Mashik Vihare, the CEO of OpenEDG, to discuss some of the career paths that you can pursue with Python. Welcome, Mashik.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Ashley. Okay, so I was assigned with a very difficult task to talk about jobs. I mean, that task is usually easy, but usually I talk to regions, countries, where the situation is pretty uniform. This is an international conference, and we have people from all over the world, and the situation is very different in different regions. Let me start with the general job situation. And next slide, please. So you can see that we were doing pretty well in the past 2 decades. The number of jobs globally was growing, was steady, and we could even be quite positive about the future. Something has changed in the past 2 years. Something got broken in 2020. Of course, that something was a global pandemic, and we are still recovering from that. We don't know what the future brings. What I want to point out here is that the significant drop in the global job market has had absolutely no effect on software developers. The number of jobs in that area was and still is growing. And we have every reason to believe that the number of jobs for developers will grow even faster. And now I come to a difficult part. How much does a Python developer earn? Let me start with the United States. Indeed says that it's on average, it's over $100,000 a year. Is this the salary that they will offer you in the first software developer job? Of course not. You have to be way more humble when you start your career in this field. But I'm going to be super straight with you. This is the United States. Your situation depends on where you live. SalaryExpert.com shows significant pay gaps between countries. At first glance, this list makes me feel that it's completely unfair. On average, someone living in Buenos Aires can expect like 9 times less than someone living in San Jose. But this is the IT world. You always have more possibilities here than anywhere else. By the way, what would someone who lives in San Jose, Silicon Valley say? That even if they make $100,000 a year, they would never afford to buy a house. Real estate prices are absolutely insane there. In Argentina, even though you can expect much less than in, let's say, Switzerland, your situation is not that bad. First of all, you make more than most other jobs in your country. Secondly, when you gain more experience, your work opportunities get better. Of course, you can always consider migration. There are visa programs for highly qualified employees in most countries, and software developer falls into that category. But this is the IT world. You don't have to do that. It is no secret that many of those jobs are B2B, business to business contracts. You can open a single person company and work in a country with your preferred time zone. So, and if you have an open mind, you may consider growing your company from a single person to a multiple person company. Hire locally, compete globally. In the end, you could have more long-term opportunities in Buenos Aires than in San Jose. Uh, if someone has had similar experience to this, please share that with me. I would like to promote that so more people can find out that there are always other ways to make living in IT. Now let me go through a few examples of job offers. If you're at the beginning of your Python developer journey, this is the kind of offer you should be looking at. They hire developers with no experience. Who's a developer with no experience? It is someone who has the knowledge but has not worked in that industry yet. Someone that has finished a Python course at Skills for All, passed the certification exam, can prove that they have spent more than 35, maybe 70 hours learning Python. Is a developer with no experience going to make money for the company? Not in the first quarter. In fact, the company invests in you, trains you, so you become a junior programmer and your career starts. Okay, next slide, please. Sometimes you can see that an employer requires you to have at least one certification from a list, like here. So here, for example, you need to have master's degree in computer science, 1 year of experience, and PCEP certification. Another example. Visa is hiring a network analyst. They prefer that you have CCNA together with the Python PCAP certification. By the way, you should notice that this is not a software developer job. Python is needed in a wide range of jobs nowadays. Okay, what can you do to enter that path? First, take a Python course at Skills for All. Take PCEP exam. Create your CV or resume. Funny thing here, I know quite a few examples of people not creating resumes and getting the job with the certification only. However, I do recommend you create a resume. You need to put your experience somewhere anyway. Look for internships, entry-level jobs, and accept any salary. From now on, hands-on experience is crucial. Employers that hire developers with no experience are extremely valuable for you. And continue your education. And if you succeed, please consider giving back to the society. What do I mean by that? Cisco is providing this course for free. We have developed this course for free. You would be surprised how much the developer's world is about sharing, helping, and giving. Go to PyCon, the conference, to find out about dozens of initiatives. Consider becoming Cisco Academy instructor to teach others, and most importantly, encourage others to follow that path. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maciek. In Maciek's session, we learned about the benefits of choosing a career in programming and Python. The future definitely looks bright for those who want to code, especially in this language. Up next, we'd like to invite Roop Trey Ho, the Chief Business Development Officer at OpenEDG. Roop will show us how to do some Python programming in live action too. So, welcome, Roop.
Hello, Ashley. Thank you, Maciek. Thank you, Greg. This is amazing information you guys are presenting. So my turn to speak a while. So I'm going to talk about the new course on Skills for All. If you haven't gone through the course, I will explain a bit what its content is about. I will explain about the PCEP certification, which is aligned to this course, and that's something really, really valuable, as Magic mentioned. And I'm going to go through some simple Python demonstrations, some code you can actually try out. We're going to provide that to you via email so you can download, test it, and have a wonderful experience with Python. So this course is called, everybody's mentioned it, Python Essentials 1 on Skills for All. People have been asking on the chat if we're going to have part 2 on Skills for All. Yes, it will be there soon. And basically, Skills for All is a new Cisco Networking Academy e-learning platform. We've worked together very much closely together. So sign up today. This course will teach you the fundamental concepts of computer programming. You can start building coding skills with Python, programming language, and I'm going to show you what the modules are about. Please, next slide. So the course has 4 modules. Okay, so it's not a long course, it's 30 hours. It's going to go up from the beginning where maybe you have no prior programming experience. That's not an issue, that's not a problem. You're going to learn the fundamental concepts of programming, computer programming, what you need to know. Then you're going to go through the basics in Python. Data types, variables, basic input-output operations with the print function, with the input function. You're going to go to control flow, you're going to see loops. If you're familiar with these concepts, then great. Conditionals, logical operators. Then you have a bunch of data collection, which are lists, dictionaries, tuples. Then we move on to some exception handling, and bingo, you're done with the course. So it's 30 hours. It's really, really fun. You won't get bored. You're going to absolutely enjoy it because the course is very interactive. We have a sandbox that is embedded within the course, so you can test out your code. You can modify the scripts. You can test the things that you want to try out. You can learn by making a mistake, then going back and then changing, correcting the code. So it's really interactive. The content is easy to understand. It's very graphical. There's animations. You can use them. You're going to have a lot of fun. At the end of each module, you have a quiz. I mean, this quiz is very important because it's going to help you determine if you've actually gained the skills and the knowledge that you need. If you haven't, you can go back. You can go back, review the module, and then take the quiz again. No previous programming experience is required. If you're new to programming, if you've never coded before, or maybe you have experience in other programming languages, this is going to be a lot of fun for you. Next slide, please. Okay, and one of the best things is that this course is aligned to the certification that Magic mentioned, the Certified Entry-Level Python Program. Okay, this is a professional recognized Python credential. You can find more about it on the link that is on the slide, or you can use the QR code that I added there to find information about it. The exam covers the exact same content as this course. So if you go through the course, you understand the concepts, you practice the labs, you do the quizzes, you will be able to pass your first Python certification. That's your first step. You're going to earn a digital badge on Credly. You're going to get a professional certificate from OpenEDG Python Institute, and you're going to be on the correct path and the right path towards everything that Magic just mentioned a few minutes ago. So we really encourage you to take the course, and don't stop there. Go on ahead and try the certification. What does this certification prepare you for? Okay, it explains, it assures that you as an individual have the skills and are familiar with Python syntax and semantics, the runtime environment, literals, variables, numeral systems, operators, data types, conditional blocks, loops, all the data collections that I mentioned a few minutes ago, functions and exception handling. Now, I looked up 2 jobs on LinkedIn, and I put the screenshots here on this slide because, as you can see, one is a networking job and the other one is a software developer job. Okay, those are the 2 types of jobs that you can find, or of course, content you find on Cisco Networking Academy. And as you can see, they both recommend or prefer skills and abilities, and Python Institute PCEP and PCAP certifications are mentioned. So no matter what you choose in IT, no matter what you like, no matter what road you want to go down through, having a Python certification and Python experience is excellent for you. This certification is valuable for people that want to learn Python, maybe just for fun, or maybe you want to get a new job, or maybe you want to change what you do. You want to get a job in software development, data analyst, or even a tester, a software tester, automize software testing. Maybe you're a professional that wants to explore technologies related to Python, or you're a team leader, a product manager, a program manager, just want to understand software better so you can actually do what you do a lot better. So this is very, very valuable. Really encourage you guys to go on ahead, do the course, and then go on ahead and take the cert. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to show you a few demos, what you can do with Python. And we're going to provide these codes. I repeat it. We're going to give you these via email. They're going to be shared with you so you can download them. But to execute them, you need Python on your computer. So go to that QR code after the session. Go to that link, select your operating system, download it, and you'll be good to go. You'll be able to run or execute the codes that I will show in a minute. These are the titles. What I'm going to show you. We're going to create a QR code, very simple, with just a few lines. We're going to do some drawing, and among this and more, a speed test, a pie chart, text to speech, which you'll be able to test out and put whatever you want, and a simple Pac-Man game, all written in Python. Everything is written in Python. Okay, so let's go on ahead and try the demos. Again, if you really want them, just hold on. Okay, so the first one is a QR code. And I just, in the variable data, I put a link that is the PCEP certification. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you have this library installed. You do that with pip, Python install package. So I'm just showing you how you do it. In this demonstration, everything is already installed. So I'm just checking that everything is there. So once it's there, basically just run this code. You execute it. And on my desktop, I will see that an image was generated. And with this image, you can scan it, and it will take to the Python Institute PCEP certification website. You can write whatever you want. It could be a website, it could be your name, it could be something you want to hide, you want something you want to share. Any piece of information with this simple code, you can actually put it in a QR code. So that's the first demo. It's pretty simple, and I hope you guys have fun with it. Let's move on to the next one. Here I use Turtle. Now, Turtle is a library that you can use to draw. Maybe you're an artist like Greg. Maybe you want to do cool things with Python. You can define functions, you can define widths, you can define colors, and then execute these and draw some pretty cool stuff on Python and share it with your friends. So this first code, I'm just going to check if Python Turtle is installed. You have to do that as well. You will install it. Mine's already there, so no worries. And I'm going to go on ahead and execute this code. In a minute. A new window is going to pop up, Turtle window, and there you go. You see the cursor is moving, and it's actually giving it shapes, colors, and you'll be able to share this with your friends. I'm going to give you this code, so you maybe make it a green one, a blue one, or even do something else. So there you go. Quite simple, easy. You can be an artist with code. Okay. Next example. This one draws a spin wheel. It also uses a loop, a for loop, and it goes around in circles, and it executes these colors that are defined in the list using Turtle at certain speed and length. And once it goes through it, you will see something really interactive being drawn on your screen. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's going through the for loop and adding the colors. And there you go, spin wheel, or whatever you want, like whatever you guys call it in your home country. So pretty cool. You can do all this with Python, and say, hey, I'm a programming artist. And this is the last one. This one also draws the Python logo. As you can see, it has different functions defined, and then we just invoke them with 2 colors. This one's going to go a bit slower. Okay, so as you can see, the cursor is moving around. I defined the background color, the pen color, then different functions to draw the curves, the lines, etc. And you can see it moving on the right. So again, I'm going to repeat it. We're going to give all of these to you at the end of the session, so you guys can play with them, have fun, install the libraries, and pretty much enjoy playing and learning with Python. So that's it for Turtle, but we're going to move on to something else. Our next demo, just give me a sec. This is a very simple speed test. I'm using speed test CLI library. And, you know, many times we want to test out what our internet speed is. We go to a website, but why not have your own? I mean, this is a very simple one. You can add a graphical interface. You can maybe improve it, add some animation to it. Okay, but this one is just going to output in the console my upload and my download speed that I currently have. So let's just give it a moment. It has to go through the test. It connects to a server, and then here in the console, it's just going to show the results. You can change, this is in bits per minute. Sorry, bits per second. There you go, you see? Bits per second. And you can actually modify this information, give it a little more of a twist. But there you go. Just with a few lines of code, you can actually create a speed test app. Let's move on to the next one. Just give me a sec. Okay. Oh, there we go. This is Matplotlib. Matplotlib is another library which you can use to create all different types of graphs. Here, what I do in charts. Here, what I do is I draw a pie chart with different programming languages, assign percentages to each one of them. I'm just making sure that Matplotlib is installed on my computer. Requirement already satisfied. You would have to install it. If you don't have it, I'm just showing you how to do it in case you're going to do it later on. And as you can see, Matplotlib gives me a pie chart that I can easily export as an image. With just a few lines of code, I can move it around. Maybe you want to share this with your friend. You're going to include it in a presentation. Maybe you have dynamic data being inputted into Python. You can create these on the spot. And there you see I have an image on my desktop. Okay, so you can, this is a pie chart, but you can create different types of charts. Go on ahead and try it out, change it, play with it, have some fun. Next up, let me take a look what's next up. I think we have two more. This is a library that can actually change whatever you type into audio. You won't be able to hear it right now. However, with these few lines of code, after you install it, you will be able to test it out. It has different voices. You can change the language. And once I execute it on my computer, I'm going to hear start learning Python on Skills for All with those cool voices that Alexa, Siri have. So you just with a few lines of code, you can create something like this, impress your friends, maybe even a future girlfriend, who knows. And last but not least, with a very few lines of code with the library free games, I've created a Pac-Man game. Now this Pac-Man game is going to help you actually see how easy it is to create a game. Here you see that the Pac-Man and the ghost in red, they're moving around. It's very basic. You just move around. I mean, you can win or lose when one of these red ghost touches you. But hey, I mean, it's less than 1,000 lines of code. It's maybe 400 or 500 lines of code. So it's just very, very few lines of code. You can actually create really cool stuff. In Python, I'm just going to scroll it a bit so you can see it. Repeat again, you'll be able to check it out. You'll be able to download it. You'll be able to play with it. Here you see the functions for moving the ghost, moving the Pac-Man, define the colors. And there I'm executing a few Lambda functions in case you're familiar with this. So there you go. So those are a few demos, things you could do with Python. And I really encourage you to go try it out, do the course, get certified, and become a Pythonista, Python expert. It's not going to be overnight. It is going to take a while. But hey, today is an excellent day to get you started. And last but not least, we have special gifts for you. So OpenEDG Python Institute, we decided that for the first 100 students to completely finish the course, we're going to give you a free PCEP 3002, which is the Python Certified Entry-Level Programmer voucher for your exam. So if you finish the course, Cisco is going to inform us who are the first 100 people who have finished the course. I will be in contact with you, and I will provide you a free voucher for your exam. So you can try the exam, pass it, and get your first certification. For the following 50 students, we're going to offer 50% discount. Again, Cisco Networking Academy is going to let us know, and I will be taking care of that. And finally, for the next 50 students, we're also going to give 25% discounts on this. Just remember, we're going to give you a certification exam voucher, but it's only valid 30 days after you completed the exam. So you have to hurry. Finish your course, get prepared, practice, and then go on ahead and take your cert as soon as you finish. So you have a month or 30 days after the course to take your exam. So sign up on our Python Essentials 1 course on Skills for All. Have fun, and we'd be happy to have you in this Python world as a Pythonista. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you so much, Ruth. And thank you so much for giving us the direction on where to get started with Python, as well as showing us some demos yourself. So possibilities with Python are endless, aren't they? After this course, many of you may start downloading the demos that Ruth has showcased, choose to take the certificate and learn this programming language, and take your first step towards a career in programming. And I've just been told our viewers have been sending in questions for our speakers in the chat. So I'll go through those questions 1 second to see what kind of questions that we have for the speakers. And there is actually a question for you, Greg. A question from Sudan Su. And the question goes, I love contributing to the open source project, but not sure where to get started. What can you tell us about this, Greg?
Okay, so thank you. That's a really good question. So what you can do is contact us, and we will guide you to the right place, what you can do, and where you can actually help. So if you go to pythoninstitute.org website, there's a section called Community, and different kinds of contact forms that are specifically designed for to address different kinds of things. One of them is the open source initiative. So just go ahead, go to the website and contact us. We will provide you with the information about the ongoing projects and the most recent things happening and how you can actually contribute. So, yeah. Thanks.
There you go. That's one way to get into open source programming. So thank you so much for that, Greg. And we do have another question, and this one is for Machik. Machik, a question from the viewer is, can I find a first programming job in the US but living in Costa Rica? So I think your communications about remote working has definitely excited the viewers. What can you tell me about? What can you tell us about this?
Okay, so it's about the first job. Well, I do recommend that you find your first Python job in the place you live. You need to gain hands-on experience first. It would be hard to train you, help you like remotely. After like 12 months, give or take, go to like any freelancing websites to look for offer and eventually create your own offer. That could be like Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, Fiverr with double R. So we can go to these pages, inspire yourself and see, well, what you can do to find a job in other country. But, well, you have to have experience first. That's my recommendation. You can try like the first Python job, but I would say it would be quite difficult. Thanks. Great question, by the way.
Great question and great answer too. Thank you, Machik, for the answer. And just arriving, another question. And Greg, this one again is for you. So from Carlos, what is the biggest advantage and disadvantage of Python in comparison to other languages like JavaScript?
Okay, so we said about simplicity. So simplicity and like beginner friendliness. So this entry threshold, so to say, is relatively low. So it takes like much less time to learn it, to use it than with other programming languages. The other thing is that it's general purpose language, so you can actually use it for anything you want. So no project no project will oppose to Python. Another thing with Python would be like this wonderful community that I talked about. So I don't think there is any other community related to programming language that is so vibrant as the Python community. It's extremely helpful, and these are the biggest advantages to Python. I also mentioned like during the presentations that there is a lot of reusable code and millions of libraries, packages, modules that have already been written in Python. which is like the community input. This is what the community, this is what the volunteers, the open source questions. So like 99% of these are result of open source contribution to Python. So this means that there is literally everything that you can do with Python, and this is thanks to the community and this open source feature, so to say. So that's why it stands out, and that's why I think it's the best language today to start your programming journey with.
And
Thank
you
you,
can
Ashley.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Greg. And you can definitely get started with Python with the courses that we have mentioned earlier in this session. And since we are going through the speakers, here is a question for you, Ru. Can Python or some of the demos that you have showcased today can be downloaded and run on mobile devices?
Okay, the demos that I've presented today, that I've shown, currently run on desktop devices, but there are options and there is a way to execute Python scripts and files on mobile devices, especially on Android. So you can do it, but the ones I just created are for a desktop computer. Okay, but yes, you can run Python on your mobile phone.
Okay, thanks for all the clarification. And since we are having more questions from the viewers, there seems to be a question actually towards the speaker, even though it's a bit awkward for me as a speaker to answer this question. I'll give it a go. Question from HF999. What made you decide to switch work from IT sector? So to answer this question, even while I was in IT, this was around 5 years ago, I was kind of always interested in exploring different career paths within IT. So I started out as a full stack developer and then moved up as a front end developer. Like earlier I mentioned in the session, I was interested in visual design, so I tried to find a crossover between the two worlds. And when I was working in a large IT company, I'll often request to change teams from like a website development to app development to e-commerce because unlike diversity, I was always passionate about like, expanding my horizon, so to speak. So when I was moving into esports, I was always passionate about video gaming, but I was merely saw my career switch as an extension of me exploring my horizon, which IT industry always allowed. So hopefully that story helps with your question. Thank you so much. And I guess we actually have time for 2 or 3 more questions, and we do have one more for Greg. Your session seems to have quite a few viewers out there, and the question goes, how important is Python for the cybersecurity path? I'm guessing she means career.
Yeah, thank you for this question. It's very, very interesting. So we've already said that Python is a good choice for any domain you can come up with. Let me answer this question in a different way. So we're currently working on a yet another course that is related to Python. It's going to be like within Python for testing pathway. But in this course, we're going to focus on security and cybersecurity. And we're going to focus on the concept of ethical hacking. And we're going to be testing some security features. We're going to focus on so-called aggressive in Python, web scraping. So these are the things that where Python can be used as a good choice for. I hope this answers your question.
It definitely did, at least for me. Really appreciate it. And Greg, I do have to put you in the spotlight because we have yet another question for you, if that is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. A question from a viewer goes, how can we get into machine learning through Python?
Okay, so again, a very nice question. I don't want to repeat myself, but we also have a machine learning course on our pathway. So first of all, what you need to do is to learn the basics. So Python Essentials 1, Python Essentials 2 seem like a very, very good foundations for this. Then you need to start exploring, like being curious, exploring the topic of data science, the topic of AI, machine learning, and neural networks. To be a little bit more Python specific, you can get to know or you can start learning a little bit more about such libraries, such Python libraries as TensorFlow, which is the MI, which is very MI specific, PyTorch, Keras. I think these are the good starting points. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us even more introduction to how to get into Python, no matter whether you are interested in cybersecurity or machine learning. And this seems to be a question for Maciek. Maciek, can you tell us more on how remote working enables and allows for the programming opportunities out there?
Sure. Thank you for this question. Actually, when I was showing this chart that number of jobs like globally was dropping, a number of jobs for IT professionals, especially software developers, was growing. That was like kind of opportunity to grow like remote works. Like number of those jobs were actually remote. So now it's a very different moment where you can really work in one country, live in one country, work in the other. It usually works this way that you come like maybe once a month to visit HQ and meet the team. But most of the time you work on tools like WebEx, Teams, and others. So well, the difficult part is that usually it's not that easy for one company to hire someone from the other country. Like there is like a special permission or something like this, like a visa program and all of that. But with the business to business contract, you don't need to do any of that. And actually, I know a lot of people working, all over the world. Some people prefer to work at night, so they choose the time zone where they can actually do that. Some people like to work, in the same time zone, so they choose that. Opportunities are endless here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the next question, also for you, Maciek, seems to be leading after the subjects that you have mentioned. A question for viewer goes, is PCAP enough to get an entry job that you have just mentioned?
Well, I would actually recommend to go further to go for PCAP. Pick up certification first. You can find it on netacad.com. It's also available in self-paced mode. But yeah, you can find offers, and I was presenting that. Ru was also presenting those offers that they will actually requiring this certification, the one that we're talking about today. So, but yeah, you have to be very humble about what they pay you. You have to really know that it's not really you're not really that valuable for the company. The company is very valuable for you. So it's like when you get this first job, it's like, well, it's not the moment to rest, like say, oh, I'm graceful now, I achieved everything. No, it's just the moment you start. You have to work even harder from now on and get more experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this QA session. We had so many questions from the viewers, but unfortunately, this is the last one we have available for the time. So hopefully more of you listening out there will consider making the career choice like me or Greg, Maciek, Rube, and so many others have. As we have mentioned, there are countless opportunities for those who want to pursue a career in programming and doing so using Python. Once again, thank you so much to our speakers today. You have some good ideas on how to get started. And remember, the first 3 people who complete the Python Essentials 1 course have a chance to win the Beats headphones. Also, the first 200 people who complete the course can win vouchers for the Python certifications. The contest ends on August 15, PST. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. A special thanks to our speakers too. The survey for the event is now available. Please do take a moment to complete it. Thanks again, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's session as much as I do today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Goodbye. 감사합니다.
Rakuten. These are Cisco executives invited to a meeting with Rakuten. This is Tarek Amin, CTO of Rakuten Mobile. This is Prakash Suthar, team leader